Hello, welcome back to Tea and Toasties. I'm one of your hosts, Sabrina.
Oh, fuck.
And you can hear me in the side just go.
Yeah, I'm here too. I'm the other one. I'm Rich.
Back to one, everyone, quiet on set.
Do over. I was completely listening. I was just listening to the episode.
That was wild. Just driving down the road. Wow, what a great ep.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go again. Take two. Hello, welcome back to Tea and Toasties. I'm one of your hosts, Sabrina.
And I'm Rich. I'm the other one.
And today we have a very special episode for you guys.
Ooh, it's a guest ep, right?
A guest app.
Yeah, a second one.
Finally.
Yep.
Yep. And this guest is someone we've talked about, name dropped quite a bit.
Name dropped. Yes.
Just figured he'd be
The logical
next guest. Yeah. Just for funsies, we're just going to get into normal conflab.
Yeah.
And just maybe a bit of nits and grits on him.
Nits and grits.
You said you've done your research.
I have. I've been Googling this fella for a week now since I knew that we were having him on.
Yeah, because you know nothing about him.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. No. So I found some stuff.
Yeah?
Got a list of questions.
All right, well,
have you done your research or you know enough?
I think I know too much.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll hear straight from the horse's mouth. Who's the guest?
Well, who is it? Who is it?
It's Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Howdy.
How you doing? How you doing?
Howdy.
I'm doing well.
Sweet. So you're guest number 2 on episode 12.
Wow.
How's that feel? There's some big numbers there.
Feels pretty good. I'd like to thank the fans for stirring up enough noise around town to where Tea and Toasties knows about me.
That's
Excellent.
Right.
Yeah.
You're an avid listener of Tea and Toasties, right?
I am. This will probably be the only episode I do not listen to.
I feel that. I do feel that. I was afraid to
Really?
listen to any episodes going in like, what do you mean my voice? I have to listen to it.
I listened to them all.
I was going to say, it actually hasn't been that bad.
Yeah.
It's been fine.
I mean, I really look forward to listening to them.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'll listen to some.
You hear that, y'all? We love
Twice.
the sound of our own voice.
Exactly. In fact, Jonette stopped. No, she didn't stop listening after hers, but she loves her episode.
Literally, yeah. So it goes one way or the
Yeah.
other. Yeah, you either love it or you hate
Her
it.
favorite is episode 3, so you can
it's
re-listen
so funny,
to
and
that.
I've seen her. I've witnessed it in public talking about the pod, and she's like, "Yeah, episode 3, like something about that episode." And I've only listened up to episode 3, so like the first 3, if you just listen to those are great. And I'm like, "What are you doing? Just plugging your own ep."
So I'm curious, like, when do you do your listening? I've always wondered where people, are they driving? Are they at the gym? What are you doing?
I'm at work. So I get in, start my day, and I wear headphones for 8 straight hours at work. Sometimes they're just off to noise cancel out the machinery.
Okay. So work is?
Work is, I work for a kombucha factory. I'm
Nice.
a brewer.
A brewer?
Yeah, well, Fed Up Foods.
Master brewer?
I don't know.
So
we're all learning every day.
So you brew up some tea, don't you?
We do brew tea.
Oh my god,
and then-
so do we.
Yes.
Wow.
And we're just the tea and toasties.
But yeah, I throw it in pretty much as soon as I get to work. Yeah.
Yeah, and you listen all the way through. And that is odd for me. Not that anyone asked, but I remember being like, oh God, like all these people are going to listen that I know.
Yeah.
And then especially people that are like close to me that I interact with every day.
Yeah.
Like you and like my mom, for example. But I knew my mom would just eat anything up.
Oh, yeah.
And
Anything
so I didn't
you
really,
do, right?
Yeah, I didn't really care. But then I was like, is it going to be weird that Aaron's listening?
That's a good point.
But I was like, no, because there's not going to
The
be
weirdest
anything.
thing is if I'm anticipating, like, do I want to learn something about you through the pod? That's weird.
Yeah, and that has happened, I feel.
No, not really, which is good.
Okay.
We're
Nothing crazy,
We're
but like,
communicating well.
It's a good sign.
That
Communication
for sure.
levels are up.
But like the last episode, for example, like you probably didn't know the ins and outs, all the details
okay.
of the business blender stuff.
Yeah.
So like in that way, you're learning some things, but yeah, you're not like what, like shocked by things that I say.
Yeah, no shockers.
Which, I knew that.
I'm dating who? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Don't you think? Isn't it good though that you think Sabrina might talk about something? You're like, oh, okay, potential birthday gift, Christmas gift.
No. I feel like that's happened already. That's funny. I don't know what it is.
Really?
Maybe I'm making it up, but
I have had the same thought of it's kind of because we sit here and talk for maybe 2 hours on an episode recording day, and I'm never just sitting down talking at Aaron for 2 hours ever. And we have plenty of conversating throughout every day, but so the things that I could have said to you are maybe things that I wouldn't have, I don't get the same opportunity with Aaron.
Right.
So yeah, it is like oh, okay, I'm learning something or I'm picking something up. I had said to you before, it's almost like Aaron is like reading my mind already. You always say like, I wish my partner would just be able to read my mind, but it just didn't understand me. And I'm like, Aaron's heard things that I haven't said to him, but he knows them about me now somehow secretly in a weird way.
I think that's a good thing though, like for Aaron. It's like, I mean, you get, I don't know, it's like an extra insight.
yeah, and I like listening. It's not like, oh, I gotta listen to my girlfriend's podcast. That,
Right.
I'm not doing it to like do my research or do my homework. So yeah, it's definitely a win-win.
And I think Jonette's heard my voice over the last 18, 19 years. Well, actually, we're 20 years this year. So she's heard my voice long enough. So
Yeah,
she
she's heard
doesn't,
enough.
Yeah. She doesn't have to listen anymore.
If this goes on for another few years, he'll probably stop
Right,
listening.
check out.
Yeah, over it.
But you, like, podcast's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
It's listenable.
For sure.
Because I was wondering, like, apart from the people very close to us, that are going to listen, how many other people are there? The randos. Is it gonna be something that they'll take something from? That's the question. That's what goes through my mind.
I know. Yeah.
Damn, you're like trying to unlock something in other people. Ooh, setting it the bar high.
Yeah.
Rich just like
I like to set a high bar.
Yeah, Rich is he's a big thinker. He's always thinking, and I think he wants other people to think as well. So he's like, if I can invoke that, then even better.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. I feel like for music, I just do the music for me. And I don't really care. I mean, I care, obviously. I don't want someone to not like my song. That would hurt my feelings. Sure. But I feel like I would never write a song to be like, I think this one will work.
And that's probably the best way to do it, right?
It's the only way I foresee I could do it. I don't know. I'd be laughing the whole time. I created a song. I don't know. Yeah,
it's a bit corny. It's like we said on the AI episode about songs that are made to
pitch to an audience.
To make people enjoy them are usually super corny and cheesy. Whereas if you just make it for you, which is I've said with the pod before, like that's why I'm doing the pod.
Yeah, I'm also not very like formulaic or it's not regimented like my songwriting. Just sort of it just happens. I'm like it could be put as lazy.
Ooh, should we get into this now?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, yeah, because I'm interested in your creative process.
Just explain it.
Yeah.
Well, no, you were on a good little trail. You were saying, I get what you're saying. Like, you don't have like I gotta have an album every year because then that is like so structured and so you're pumping out shit.
No, I hear like people say that timelines are important or a timeline you need to be done with projects by this time or else with art it'll never be done. Because I could endlessly write a song or endlessly, especially since I record our songs, the editing part, it's like, good Lord, we can record the album in a week and then I can edit that thing for a year and still want to change things.
Right.
And then it's like, we're not on a label. We're not big enough to where like the fans are dying.
Release kind of thing.
Nobody cares.
Nobody knows that you already have it recorded.
Endless time.
But what are you, are you waiting for it to be good enough in your mind?
Yeah, totally. Oh, yeah, because I want to be proud of it at the end of the day. But there is no, I think, what do they say? Like, perfect is the enemy of good. You could just kill it.
Overthink it.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes it just needs to be good enough, right?
You stink if you overthink.
Wow. Look at you. He's
who wants
right
to stink?
in here.
I like this. He writes.
There you go.
Oh, no, I didn't write that. I heard that on a podcast today.
Interesting. I thought you were
saying.
Like 2 hours ago.
Oh, wow.
Which pod?
Not this one.
Conan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cut that.
Yeah.
But anyways, I guess we got off topic. But the songwriting, I don't know. It's like you hear about artists. It's like it's kind of gag when they talk about songs like this, like "Comes to You in a Dream" or "It's Flowing in the Wind." You have to pick it out of the air.
Okay,
and it's like,
does that happen or no?
No, I wholeheartedly believe in those songs because it's like, I don't know. I could look at the calendar and be like, okay, it's been a year since we've released new music. There should be something that's a little poking at me. Like I should be working on it. But that almost does the opposite thing for me. It's where like, I don't want to do it because I feel like I should. I want to do it because I just want to do it.
Right.
When it happens quick. So I'll usually you'll write the first song that gets you excited, and then you'll write the whole record in a month. But then you might not even want to pick up the guitar for a year
because you're drained at that point, or what?
No, there's no rhyme or
reason. There's no inspiration. Yeah. It's like
I think that's just why people devolve into like destroying relationships and doing drugs and stuff to like have like the crazy story to write about or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Which I also hate that.
Yeah.
Really?
It's cool to watch. I mean, is that fucked up to say? Like,
no.
Like all your hero, like going through those, like
they're going through different chapters of their lives, right?
Makes a good story. You don't want to live that story though.
No.
Yeah.
Really, but some artists will wait. Like they'll just go, I've got to go off and trap, or I've got to go and take a year out and do all the drugs and stuff like that. And that provides their material, right?
If I had the money to just leave work, like we've talked about this as a band, like if we could take a vacation together, rent a cabin or a beach house or something, like the Strokes did it in Costa Rica with Rick Rubin, like is that not like
that's
bucket list material?
Right.
Yeah, a vacation with your best friends with a famous producer.
So if you're listening, Rick Rubin, there's other volunteers who are quite ready for that.
But unfortunately, we all have to have jobs.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm taking 8 hours of PTO to go play this gig, and then here and there, all around the year, personal dates and stuff. And it's just like, the songs have to be written on a Tuesday evening where you're still tired from work. And nothing inspirational there. You're drained from work. Come on.
I brewed this many like tea leaves.
Yeah.
Added the sugar.
Right. You don't even want to take a shower. You just want to like lay down on the couch and sleep.
That's interesting. I've often wondered like where the inspo comes from, you know.
I think it, like you said, it is different, but I kind of am biased where I think true artists, creative people, it kind of just comes to you. You can't really seek it out unless you could argue that going on that trip, doing the thing is seeking it out in a way. You're kind of forcing it to come.
Right.
Well, yeah. I feel like a lot of bands' best records are like their first two.
Yeah.
Is because they're like, you know, you got the youth.
Yeah, the youth on your side.
The youth on your side, but also it wasn't your job yet. So I feel like it was solely about the love of the game.
Yeah.
Right.
And then later on, okay, you can quit your job. You are making money from this thing and you can dedicate your entire day to it. And it's not like, okay, get your life together. And then they're not as good. I don't know. You're a big 1975 fan and you always talk about like the first one.
Two.
The first one and the second one. Yeah. Like insane, changed my life, cliche shit, those albums. Yeah, because they were like in high school when they wrote them. Yeah, and it was like love of the game. There was no, it was just because I love it. I know I'm not going to get anything from it.
Yeah.
But we'll look back in our first 10 episodes, we'll be like, damn, those episodes were so
First two and the third one, JB's.
like, wow, those kids, they really had it.
Is this one 12?
This
is 12.
Yeah.
I think we could
12
get
2.
12. Well, we'll put that in there as well. I think that's same as Oasis, first two albums. Is it when suddenly they get picked up like by a label and then the label's got, I want you to do
grind.
You're just a gear in the machine.
And it's a paycheck. And like you said, you can now quit your job. And now it's like, okay, well, this is my job now. I have to do this. I have to keep on this schedule of the yearly
Which
album
would be tiring. But from my
and
point of view, I'm like, I don't know. Was you saying that in a negative?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's probably why maybe we don't think that the rest of the albums are as good as the original two. Because like you said, it's not as...
Yeah, they didn't need to write the first two.
They
need to.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree with that.
The first two, they're youthful. They're writing about... They've probably got a lot of experiences that they're tapping into.
Yeah, but also the first two albums so artists... It's kind of weird. From our point of view, when you see an artist for the first time, you're like, dang, this is the first thing they've ever written and it's this good. It's usually not. Like once you sign to a label, they'll like erase every proof of your existence before then, and then re-record, compilations sometimes of your best work, and it looks like you came out of nowhere and you're writing this already, and it's like, well, actually, we've been a band for 10 years. So sometimes that's a thing. I don't know. It's really easy to like speak in generals about this stuff.
Yeah,
but none of us know why.
Because then you have the opposite side of like a person like, who am I going to say? Taylor Swift. Her first album is like, oh, you can tell it's written by like a 13-year-old girl who's never been in love and she's just pretending. And is
that weird or is that awesome? Like a 13-year-old
writing
got there already.
It is cool. I don't know. I relate in a way that like, since I can remember, I've been a hopeless romantic. So I relate to that feeling of like, I've never been through this, but I can maybe draw from what I've seen in movies and whatever. And then she just got better and better and better because now she's just honed in on the craft and she knows how to write a good song. Like she knows the strategies of songwriting. So then you have that side of it too, where like she's playing the game at the highest level.
Oh, you feel she is now?
100%. She's playing the game. She's still very creative and whatever and drawing inspiration, but she also knows how to play the game.
And it's also when you're young and you want something so bad, you want to be, the rock star, you want to be known. That's when you're really striving for something. So I think that's when you're going up the hill.
At the edge.
Yeah.
And then once you have it, you want to keep it.
Yeah.
But it's keeping it, I suppose, because you've experienced it, you don't let it go. Is that more of a driver than going for it?
I think it's different. Because I think if it's enough of a big dream of yours, it would be crazy to just finally achieve it and then be like, throw it away.
I'm done. Yeah. I got it and I'm done. I'm good.
I mean, I would like to think that anyone who's doing music in the first place had their whole heart in it the whole time.
I would say. Well,
I think so. Even like industry plant type people.
Yeah, they still love it. They still recognize it's a cool job. It's not like
randomly I'm just like, I hate music, but I guess I'll sing. Like that's never happened.
No. Yeah. I mean, they know they've got to produce music, output music, but oh, by the way, this is an afternoon record. This is our first afternoon record.
Saturday.
Guys, it's a Saturday.
We're cramming in 2 episode recordings in 1 week. Usually we'll do coffees and some kind of something.
Yeah, pastry.
This afternoon, since we've got,
special guest.
It's a real rock and roll episode.
It is a rock and roll. So we're cracking a few beers. That's probably what you heard right there.
That's actually a Guinness. That's what
I forgot these things had the nitrous ball in it. It's about 45 seconds longer than I thought it was going to
be. So Aaron's bringing the rock and roll this afternoon. But going back to like what you were saying, you think that the artists would always do it. That kind of throws up for me like a question of, going back, when did you first realize that music was your thing? I'm not gonna paint.
First off, I think I've blacked out for the last 30 minutes. So
30 minutes.
Having the microphone and the headphones.
Yeah.
It's like I think we went somewhere, but we went in a circle, and I'm not sure what we covered.
This is our life.
This is how it goes?
That's how it goes.
Okay, cool.
You just keep nattering.
That's why we recorded for 2 hours.
There's all good shit in there.
Because literally, like, I'll look down, I'm like, oh, we've been recording for 90 minutes.
And you can leave this in, too, an explanation for the babble.
Yeah. But also, I don't know if it's babbling.
No, it's
just
good
conversation.
Shit.
It goes off, and you don't know where. That's why we started the pods, because we go off, and we just
Tangents.
talk and talk. But it is a bit of a pain for the edit, because if I want to cut a snippet and then I'm like, oh wait, now it doesn't tie in with what we said because everything trails into the next thing.
But I think the trick is just keep talking, keep doing our thing, and then Sabrina will just make it.
Yeah. I see her edit every day. Yeah. Now I know what she's doing in here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How I got into music, I guess, is I literally did nothing musical until about 8th grade.
8th grade being, this is for UK people, 8th grade is how old?
About to be high school, so like 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, didn't even sing in church, didn't feel comfortable doing anything musically. It seemed like you could be judged for it in a way. I was just scared to. And no interest. I played sports, and baseball was my thing. So I played baseball year-round for years. It was regular season, then all-stars, and then fall ball, and then you were back in. And, in 6th grade. I thought I was going to the majors,
Right.
like every 6th grader.
Your butt's not nearly big enough.
What the heck?
Do you need a big butt for that?
They can't see my butt. You just exposed me to everyone.
No, they always have huge butts.
They do.
I just
is it
remember thinking
not padding?
No, it'd take big butts. I think it's like running.
Well, I
and
stopped playing in 8th grade. Okay, my butt would have been huge.
Baseball butt. I didn't know that. No,
I just
learned
remember
something.
like in high school, girls liking baseball players, and I was like,
It's
why?
the
His ass
pants.
is huge. It's not. Their butts are big.
What about cyclists? They wear that tight shit.
But they're also like
They're
80 years old
Nobody's
usually.
saying, "Dang, look at that cyclist booty."
Look at that.
Slow down. Let's look at that.
Calves, maybe.
Calves for sure. Yeah.
What are they?
Calves, like your calves.
I'm also
Calf
not
muscle.
a butt
yeah.
person. Yeah, I can appreciate a calf before a nice butt.
Okay. A calf.
I said that.
A calf.
You're putting an F in it? I thought I was saying it wrong, and then you said it.
I guess you're right. Calf versus calf,
I-
which is a baby.
I don't know if I
Calf.
have an accent, but there are some words that I don't say very well.
You be saying stuff. So do I, though. I used to say milk. I still do. a
We've
little
all
bit.
got accents.
like a hill, like a mountain hill, and then the heel of your foot.
Is
I
that-
think I
yeah,
just said
You're
it
just
right for the first time in my life
You're just
right now.
Southern.
And
Heel and heel. Yeah.
they're the same word to me.
He'll say hill and hill.
Yeah.
Like, but you don't do like oil. You're not that Southern.
Oh?
Oil.
Oh, heck no.
Dang flabbit. Heck no.
Where
Tinfoil.
were we?
Tinfoil.
Tinfoil? Nah. Aluminium.
There you go.
Yeah, you don't have many. Everyone has their own little weird quirks, like what you just called me out on, like the cab and the calf.
No, all my favorite accents just mush everything together.
Yeah, we all-
Enunciation? Nah, I'm not a fan.
Me either. I know I'm a queen of mumble.
My favorite singers. I don't know the lyrics to their songs because I don't care. It's just that
1975.
melody.
I do love lyrics though. I'm a lyric girly.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I think I have to like lyrics because I write them.
Where were
But
we?
like honestly, not important. Okay, 8th grade.
okay.
Eighth grade
Yes.
baseball.
Here we go.
Thank God, we could have never
Here we
come
go.
back on
Baseball
that.
butt.
8th grade.
All right. So you're playing baseball.
For the listeners, I'm waving my hands. I'm shutting everyone up.
It's not working.
You're playing baseball and you think, fuck this. I need to get into something else.
No, you're
No, I'm saying baseball is life.
Ooh, okay.
My aunt, I think she's like the rebel in the family,
There's always one.
Yeah, she's cool. Kind of the opposite of my mom. But my mom's cool too. That wasn't a diss.
Just different ways. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just different. She buys me an electric guitar for Christmas. And I swear my
okay.
mom went like white when
Yeah,
it
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Like, not the devil's music. And so I get it and I'm in love with it. Like I'm picking it up. One of my best friends happens to get a guitar for Christmas that year too.
Oh, see, perfect storm.
It's like, there's a little competition there, like who's getting better quicker.
Okay.
But neither of us are really shining because I'm still in baseball. So like I'm only doing so much.
All right. A foot in each camp kind of thing.
Yeah, and then I go to high school and I throw my arm out, and it's the first sports season where I can't play.
Right.
And I'm like, Coach, I can't play. He's like, well, you want to be the manager, which is basically the water boy.
water boy.
yeah, no thanks.
And I said, yeah, thanks, no thanks.
Yeah.
Also,
and then,
like in front of all your peers, like how embarrassing.
oh, I know. And I'm a freshman in high school.
fuck that.
Yeah, right, dude. So I just played a lot of guitar.
Isn't that funny how that happened then?
Once I healed up, I never went back to baseball.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah.
Sweet.
It's also one of those things where me with dance, for example, once you're out of high school, it's kind of obsolete. There's no space in your life for that unless you join, an adult kickball league. Like they have those things, but it's kind of your school life is the only, like, unless you literally go to the major leagues. There's no room for baseball in your life. as an
Totally.
adult.
And then, now I'm a sophomore, and then, you're no longer in 6th grade, and you're like, oh, there is no career in baseball for me.
No one's looking at you.
I'm
So
like,
that could have been a really nice thing that happened at the time for you.
yeah, it was a blessing in disguise. And then my friends, I don't know, I was like the chameleon in high school where I had a friend in every group, and I could pretty like fluidly go between.
That was sweet.
So then it's like now I'm putting less attention to baseball, and I do have these friends who play music. So then I'm just jamming with them more often. And yeah, it was like pretty much every day after school, I'd be going to like Jacob or Josh's house because they had drum sets. And you would lug over your amp, and you would just thank God their parents were cool. You just blast the neighborhood.
I'm imagining a
God.
garage. Are you in a garage doing this?
Yes.
Okay.
One's a basement and one's a garage, but it's like you're deaf by the end of the jam.
Okay. Now, are you at that point? So everyone's just piling in and you're jamming. How do you find your sound as a group?
I think when you first get into music, it's
You're just doing covers of things.
classic rock is really attractive.
I was just going to say, what is the song you learned?
Yeah.
Well, it's because every classic rock is classic because it's like the drummer's doing cool drummer things. The guitar's
solo.
doing...
There's always a guitar solo.
So it's like, of course, I want to like learn the AC/DC song. And of course, my buddy wants to learn like the Zeppelin drum parts or Rush.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was common spot. Like what we actually all listened to individually was very different. Like my buddies had some metalheads, and then I was exclusively listening to the Killers and MGMT, and still love that.
But you know what is so interesting to me is your first like proper band was like a bluegrass folky band.
Oh, we can keep going on this path. So yeah, then eventually some of my friends, we entered Battle of the Bands in high school, and we won, and we practiced the same song for like a year straight preparing for it. And
one song.
I mean, I'm exaggerating, but only a little.
Okay.
I mean, Battle of the Bands is just you play one song, right? So nail it.
I loved my parents because they would let us have band practice at their house. They listened to us play one song. I mean, okay, so
please share the song.
Probably actually for 2 months straight every day.
Well,
I mean, we just had to win. You didn't want to go up there and lose.
No. Can we get your parents on the phone right now and ask them what that song is?
I know it.
It's
I've seen the video.
All the things I've done by the Killers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the thing about it was every time we played the song, it was so exciting because we were successfully completing a song
it's crazy.
together.
You're like, oh, it actually sounds like the song.
Yeah,
we're doing it.
And jamming in your room is so different
Right.
from y'all like start to finish completing a song. You were so energized every single time. And we would finish practice and we'd like celebratory trip to Wendy's. Like, and we'd sit at Wendy's and we'd be eating like your 4-for-4 meal and just you were over the moon on how cool that was. I mean, just high fives for the next hour. Just like, we did it.
And was the goal to sound just like the song or your...
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
We don't have there was nothing I was doing that had a signature, an Aaron Aiken signature on it. I was just trying to like do what my heroes were doing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And is that how everyone starts, do you think? Covers?
Oh, for sure.
You learn by mimicking, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure. There would be no way not to mimic at the beginning unless you grew up in a place where someone handed you an instrument and you would never listen to music.
Right, because then it's like...
No influences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because how would you even know if you're doing it right?
And you have to, you're picking a lane. Like, oh, my aspiration is to be, Julian Casablancas or, something. So you're like, therefore, I'm going into alt rock. Or my hero is Stevie Wonder, so I'll go down that lane. Or, name
Everything
someone,
has
Alan Jackson.
Right.
A bass. Oh, geez, right in the mic. It's better than the fucking tea sipping. Everything creatively has a structure. I think, like, what is it? A root.
Right,
for a
it's
dance,
based in something.
for example, ballet is the root of all dance. And it was. If you knew ballet, you could do any other
all the dances
because it all stemmed from ballet.
Right.
So it's like if you know the chords and this music, whatever, then you can branch off and start creating your own shit off of that.
But yeah, I think you have to steal from other genres to... You do. You have to steal to create something new. It's like blues created rock. Right. The Beatles seem like they were the first to ever do it, but you could trace their influences and be like, oh, dude, that sounds like the Beatles. And trace their influences.
Yeah.
And just goes down the line.
It's just a stepping stone, I suppose.
I mean, yeah. I mean, nowadays, it feels like everything's been done. So I'd be curious.
I've always wondered that.
I'd be curious to see what the next invention or genre would be.
I've always wondered that.
I want to say we haven't done it all, but whoever comes up with that new one is going to be a genius.
But also... You like to say, oh, this sounds like the Beatles and this sounds like this, but they could have no idea of who these people are. It just comes down to that humans aren't that different. Yeah. Everyone thinks they have the most original idea ever, and they are so quick to call out someone for copying them. But it's like, no, we just happen to have the same thought because at the end of the day, we're humans with the same brain.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're all listening. Like, we're all getting inspiration and, like Aaron said, stealing, but I guess that's what it is. You're drawing inspiration or taking like, oh, I just heard a song over there. I liked that. I'm going to pull that part in and use it and put my thing to it and then create something. That's what all artists do, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying it like a legal term. We're like, you copied it verbatim and you could get sued. I'm just saying it like you appreciated it enough and you spent enough time around it that it would be hard for it not to influence you. Yeah.
Exactly. So when I know we're jumping ahead a little bit because we're digressing and bits and bobs like that, but who would you say, like core influences, who are you not stealing, but who are you taking from?
Who are Pink Beds influenced by? It's hard to say because, 90% of the first record was just me and I wasn't trying to be like anyone. It was just killing time during COVID.
So Pink Beds is influenced by Aaron Aiken.
But like, what is Aaron Aiken like? I could tell you that.
Ooh, let's do that.
In high school, I had the same Killers Hot Fuzz record in my car for a flat year. So definitely them.
Okay.
Phoenix, the band.
Okay.
Very influential for me. It'd be like listening to your Spotify Wrapped, I guess.
Yeah,
is all that this
so
means.
Many things.
It's not that deep. It's just what do I like listening to. It's not like I'm going out and I'm trying to play my guitar like my heroes or even trying to sing like them. But it's okay. So this is when it becomes apparent to me is if someone comes up to me and like, y'all sound like this, whether or not I agree with them or not, probably just depends on, does it line up with what I listen to? Like if they throw out a name where I'm like, ugh,
what the
like
fuck?
It's probably just because I didn't listen to them and I'm like, that's an oddball. But if they name like, who doesn't like Tame Impala? But if they name Tame Impala, I'd be like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
Because I've spent 100, 200, 300 hours listening to him. I don't know if that answers your question, but I think that's the best I could do.
You're not going to make music that you're not going to listen to. You want to make music that you would like to listen to. So, of course, it's going to sound like the other music that you like to listen to. That just is
exactly
how it is. So, like you said, if anyone asked you, it's like, just look at my Spotify Wrapped. I don't really know what to say. It's like any music I've ever listened to in my whole entire life up until this point is why my music sounds the way it does.
Yeah, yeah. But do you think we sometimes, I'm guilty of it, is like, I found my music lane, if you like. And, mine is
British.
What is it? Fish?
British.
You said fetish.
Fish?
Sorry, no, I said British.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's also, it's a time and a place for me, it's, and I think we all like that nostalgia. If I'm going to throw something on, but perhaps I'm kind of guilty of just going to default mode, whereas I should be looking at new music. More so, but it's just way too easy just to go. Right,
no, totally.
I'm going to throw them on. I'm going to throw
I don't think
some.
you should do anything.
But,
there's no rules.
No. I feel you though.
You know what I mean?
You don't want to lose that time. You listen to this record and end up sucking. You're never going to go back, and now you lost that hour. I get it.
Yeah. But
when you can put that one record on and you're like,
it's gonna hit.
Guaranteed good time.
It takes me there. Yeah.
But are you ever in the mood? Because sometimes I'll be in the mood to just scroll through new music and discover new music.
Suggested
but most
music.
of the time, I'm like, no, I know what I like.
Yeah.
Put that on shuffle and just go.
It's kind of like if someone gave you, I've got one quarter. There's a jukebox over there. It's got all the music in the world on that jukebox. Here's one quarter.
It's how I feel with
what
food,
you putting on?
Where I'm like, I ain't got much space in here. And if I'm starving, I'm not going to try a new restaurant.
Well,
I'm going to go for the thing that I know I'm going to like.
For sure.
Because then if I don't like it, I can't get it back. My stomach room's wasted on this food that was shit.
Stick to what you know. But then you didn't know that at one point. There was one point in time where you didn't know that at all anyway.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I'll get to it one day. I'll try this restaurant when I'm not as hangry.
Okay.
It's just the easy route. It's like the nostalgia is the guaranteed dopamine.
Yeah.
But finding new music, it's like once you find it, like,
that's
every now and then
dopamine.
it's that moment. Like I work with my headphones on, so you'll pull out the phone to see who it is because you're like, ooh, that's good. And you don't know it. Okay. Saving that one. And that's a great feeling.
That is.
But
That's
it don't
for
happen
sure.
every time.
Yeah.
I do.
So it's easier to go back.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's what you should do. Whoa. What happened there?
Can happen. It can happen.
That's literally me and my whole time. Right?
She'll yawn sometimes. We've got to pick it up.
Do something. Yeah.
I think this is a good time to pee.
It's a great
we
time.
can break.
It's a great time.
The problem is, how do we pick it back up and make it seamless?
I'll continue. We just made it to Battle of the Bands.
He's 14.
Yeah.
We're only there.
You're dating a 14-year-old.
We're 40. Stop. We're 48 minutes in, and you're just now 14.
Yeah. We're not even halfway through my life.
This is a journey.
Son of a, when do I come in? Let's get to that far.
So we're going to pick it up from your age 14.
We're still on it.
So you're age 14. Let's go back to your bedroom. What posters do you have on the wall?
Whoa!
Let's go back to your little boy bedroom.
Let's go there. Let's go back.
Take me to your bedroom.
Let's go to your little boy crib.
No.
To my NASCAR, it's a NASCAR
Yeah,
bed.
NASCAR
Yeah, your NASCAR bed. So you've ripped off all the baseball pictures off the wall and you've replaced them with what?
You don't strike me as a poster on the wall kind of guy.
The only poster that I had to have from Walmart, because they have the you swipe the poster thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
I have so many of them.
The only poster I had to have was a Carolina Hurricanes hockey poster, just because it looked cool. I still to this day have never watched it.
I was about to say, I've never heard you even say the word hockey.
Hockey match.
Monkey hatch.
A monkey hatch?
It looked cool.
Why? What was going on?
Black, red, and white.
And it's
cool
like a
colors.
hurricane.
The hurricane, their logo is real nice, and it looks just like three dudes, and it looks like they're going 1,000,000 miles an hour on their skates. And it's cool, man.
All right. So that went straight up.
Can't explain it.
Straight
Sweet.
up.
Have you still got it?
Yeah, it's hanging on our wall right
It's
now.
above the bed in our bedroom.
On the ceiling.
Oh, nice.
Jesus.
No, it's gone. So I'm 14. Okay, so we play Battle of the Bands. We win.
Right. Ooh.
Of course.
You won the thing. I mean, all that practice, right?
Of course.
Need I remind you who you're talking to?
Shut. Did that light a fire under your ass where you were like, we're good?
As we won, we went backstage and cockily, is that a word?
Yep.
Cockily.
We'll say it again.
Just one more time.
Yeah,
cockily.
do it.
Wrote our names. I think we were actually sophomores at this point. Signed our names on the brick wall behind the curtain, where the plays and stuff happen.
We had that too at our school, yeah.
The auditorium. And we sign our names, and it literally takes up one brick on the wall. Like you could have wiped it off real instantly. But I forget if it was like the vice principal or the theater teacher. They did not like that. So after we won Battle of the Bands,
Rebels.
We had now graffitied the wall in their eyes.
It's rock and roll lifestyle, isn't it?
And
He's already so rock and roll.
Yeah.
You're leaning into
Half
this
a
at
second
14.
after you win.
Yeah.
So I
Doing drugs in the bathroom.
I had to remove the cigarette out of my mouth to tell her to fuck off. We scraped gum off the chairs in the auditorium. There's like 800 chairs, and we scraped gum off every single one. And gum is my enemy.
My God, yes.
Might have been what started it. Let's go back there later.
What? Oh, yeah, this is where your trauma started. No, we don't have to go back later. We'll go now.
Ooh,
we'll
are we
sidebar.
going deep here? Do we need the therapy couch?
Yeah,
Is
bring
that
it
where
up.
we're
So
going?
Aaron's laying horizontal now on the chair. I've got the clipboard.
Nice.
I'm addressing the class.
He's making a break for it.
Aaron
jumped out the window.
Aaron has a phobia. I'm saying it's a phobia.
Yeah.
Of chewing gum.
We're never going to get through my music stuff.
I'm
This
just
is a
saying it
part
real
two.
quick. Aaron is afraid of chewing gum. He hates it. He's never chewed a piece of gum in his life because he's afraid of it and it grosses him out. Similarly,
It's gross and unnecessary, and shame on you if you partake.
that's insane. You're literally talking to the entire world because you're the only person
Yeah.
in existence who
Yeah.
has never chewed a piece of gum.
As would someone with a phobia, that would be their
It
advice.
rots your teeth. It doesn't disappear. What the fuck do you do with it when you're done?
Spit it out.
It makes gross noises in people's mouths. I don't want to. It's like you always talk about like
You
when
stick
people,
it under the chair or under a desk or
You know,
something.
And then you scrape
don't
it
want
off.
to see people chewing their food, but I feel like gum is the exception to the rule,
No one
and
chews with their
everyone's
mouth
just like,
open though, still.
nah. Yeah.
Oh God. Anyway, yeah. So I remember learning that about it, but I was like, I get not liking it, but never having
Not a
a piece
phobia.
is crazy.
Maybe something happened.
But that's
maybe
what you
it
said,
got
maybe it
stuck
sparked.
in my sister's hair growing up, and I had to
It
watch
is
my
a
mom
weird
cut her
texture.
hair out.
That happened to me.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
making this up. That didn't happen, but
It did. I
Yeah.
had some chewing gum in
I've
my
had it.
hair. Someone put it. I was like 5 or 6 years old. We were all at assembly. Someone put a piece of chewing gum in my hair or something. And then someone, like a kid, pointed and laughed.
sorry.
And then, it's good. It's good.
I do have a story, but continue.
Yeah, I will. I'm glad I sparked. Oh, hang on. Is it chewing gum related?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. We're on that theme. So they dragged me to someone's room and got a pair of scissors and cut this fucking thing out of her hair. And
Yeah.
it left a big,
In your hair?
Huh?
Yes.
Your hair?
Yes. Someone put
You
chewing
cut
gum
it
in
out yourself?
No, they
someone
cut
did.
it.
Oh, okay.
The teachers cut it out. Left me
Oh,
haunted.
look at me.
You had something
Hang
to
on.
say. So juicy.
Yeah. Go on, spill
I
the
thought you were
tea.
scolding me with your eyes because I cut in on the story.
Oh no, that was
Okay,
I
cool.
don't care. Scolding me with your eyes. Holy shit!
Oh.
I'm inspired. Write a song on that.
Beware those eyes.
Yeah, middle school, this girl, it's the kind of thing
Who
where
was
like you tell your mom about it and she's like, she was just hitting on you or something. And it's that
Right.
weird middle school.
She had a crush on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was about to sit down, put the gum in my seat, and it was like freshly chewed. So and then I sat in it for a goddamn hour. So it was just like seriously matted into my pants.
Why
the
would
pants,
she do
yeah.
that?
Boy, was it in my pants. That's crazy.
Couldn't get it out. Favorite pants?
And yeah, I'm already scared of gum at this point. Like,
Oh.
So
I
it
mean,
wasn't
like,
that.
if I hadn't chewed gum till 7th grade and
You
then
were
this
targeted.
happens, yeah.
See, this is what blew my mind. Was like, what do you mean you've never been a child in like a gumball machine? You're like, give me that now.
I do not
Like, how
remember
did you
ever doing that.
surpass that?
I don't remember
So it's
doing that.
ingrained, like a true phobia. You were born with this.
Yeah. I want to know where it came from. They knew your kryptonite. They knew how to get at
Yeah.
you.
I think it's just a texture thing.
I
It's
think
the same thing.
Well,
like
as a guy, I think it's always you blame your mom, right?
mommy issues. Is that what we're saying?
Well, I mean, it isn't like
Let's get into that.
like a serial killer. Don't they always say like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the mama
It's the
thing?
reason why. Yeah.
That was.
Did your mom
No, I'm just
smack
I'm just
gum?
kidding. No.
I don't know. It is a weird thing. Yeah, you just have those things that gross you out, and most of the things that gross me out are the mouth related, like spit. I hate that, saliva, drool, loogies, all that. I
Bad
hate.
breath. I mean,
Yeah, it all
anything.
freaks me out. So I get, and the same thing is why I hate wet paper towels and wet toilet paper is because I imagine it in my mouth immediately. I don't know why.
Jesus.
And it freaks me out. So I get the gum thing.
Wow. Phobias.
Anywho, I think I'm 14 again.
Yeah, let's go back to 14. So we're still hanging. We're
All right,
holding
so
pattern at 14.
we gotta keep
kill
moving.
me.
Can we
Get me
get-
out
can
of
we get to
14.
15?
Get
Who
me
is
out of 14.
Who is this guy?
Right, so imagine it's your 15th birthday.
They brought in this guy to talk about nothing.
It's 14.
Got a
It's
guitar
just
from my
one
aunt.
battle of the band.
We just won Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
We formed a band with that group of guys.
What are they
from
called?
Kings of the Foxfire.
Love it. How did you come up with that name?
I wasn't responsible for the name at all, but later on I did like Kings of Leon a lot. So
I was
you
just
would
gonna
so you
say.
would think it came from that, but it actually didn't.
Oh.
I don't think we even knew who Kings like.
You were riding the high of winning Battle of the Bands. You're like, we're fucking kings.
Okay.
Kings of the
and
Fox,
okay,
what?
so but Foxfire is pretty cool. I think
Foxfire.
they got it after the Foxfire book series, which I think it was like outdoor wilderness camping, stuff. But Foxfire is a bioluminescence, so it's a little mushroom that at night you can see glowing on the trail. And
cool.
it's here in
Local.
Western North Carolina.
Ooh, could you
Yeah.
find it on the Pink Beds trial?
I was just going to say,
Um,
foreshadowing you then
could
having a band
you?
named Pink Bag.
Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Not on purpose.
So you're in this band, King of the Foxfire, and then it gets shortened to just Foxfire, right?
It does get shortened to Foxfire. So I'm older than the boys. Okay, so it's me, Barrett, Clint, and JT. Was eventually the Foxfire. Some other members ended up moving and whatnot. So it's us four now. I moved to college.
So what are we now? How old? 16?
18.
18.
Yeah, I jumped to college now. So go to college for a semester, come back, and my buddy Clint, we've been a rock band, right? He hands me a mandolin. He's like, I think you should learn to play this. And I'm like, that's weird. Or like, not weird, but
Yeah, it's
didn't see
Yeah,
this coming.
Right.
He's now playing a banjo every now and again. And I didn't see where this was going at the time.
I think you should wear this.
And then we did.
Here's
and
your suspenders. Here's your fedora.
And the suspenders and vests definitely happened.
Corduroy.
Because it was the
Tweed.
who were kings at this time? It was like Avett Brothers and then
Yes.
Mumford, and then from them it was
okay.
like the Lumineers came after
Right,
them, and
right.
it was a whole wave
huge.
in like
Yeah.
the 2010s.
Yes.
So he was like, let's jump on this wave.
I don't know if he was trying to jump on that wave.
it was probably what he was listening to. So then
Definitely what
the
was
music he was
listening
creating
to.
was like
and
that.
growing up in Brevard, we have like a banjo camp. Brevard Music Center
Yeah.
is a prestigious bluegrass program.
And it's Appalachia.
Something I think.
know.
I've never been.
Yeah.
Anywho, he hands me the mandolin, and I'm like, and if anyone asks me to do something, I'm like pretty. It's not a great quality, but I push back. Is usually my first reaction.
It's the best quality to have. I don't know why you'd ever think that's a bad quality.
And then, so that happened, push back until I write like my first part for the band. And then I'm like, ooh, that was pretty cool. And then we do the folk bluegrass thing for a while. It's called the Foxfire. There's YouTube evidence.
Yes, there is.
I have to look that up.
Mm-hmm. And the Battle of the Bands, there's evidence of that too. And it was very fun. And we truly cut our teeth with this band. I mean, I would be in class in college just sending emails to venues, and I booked a tour for us. We went from North Carolina to Nashville, spent 3 weeks in Colorado. I mean, I got to play with truly great acts during those years. It was very cool. It was just at the ages where you could run off, you were a man.
Yeah.
We weren't legally allowed to drink, but we were drinking all the time. Because if you showed up in the band, it was like,
they give them a beer,
pour them the pint. So it was very exciting. I mean, we traveled that tour in a Winnebago. I mean,
it's classic,
at
right?
19.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
Yeah.
So cut our teeth there, then eventually it devolves. Like, I don't know.
Why, what?
It's never like a concrete thing that happens. It's like, people want to be like, there's no real huge
It's not one thing.
No, it just kind of like falls apart over a period of time. And then once it's over, it's like, why did that end? I don't know.
Is it stylistically? Is it creative clashes? What is it?
Sure. It's like maybe one person wants something else for a while or needed something from the band that they weren't getting.
Right.
And then they slowly leave. And
like money?
Slowly. No. Oh, no. Nothing I've ever been involved musically has ever got enough money for it to be a fight over money.
All right. So it's always creative.
I feel like it's like creative or just scheduling things. And just like if you think back to like friendships just fall out. There was nothing that happened. It was just like, we just drifted apart. Right. Vibes.
Same with bands.
I think so. Also, like you said, everyone still has jobs. Life just gets in the way sometimes. Like one person wants more from everyone else, and they can't. There
was no Yoko situation or anything like that.
You love the Yoko. I guess you're always like, "Don't be Yoko. Watch out! Don't be Yoko."
I guess the punctuation at the end here would be. So Clint left the band, and then the band continued, and we'd have like really cool shows that Clint would come back on and be like, "Of course you came back for this one." Like, shout out Clint. Then Clint's like really gone this time. And then we were supposed to headline this festival, and Barrett and JT, I'll shorten the story here. Essentially, they should have been on the road for like 2 hours in order to be there on time. And I called them and be like, so what's your progress? And they're like, we're still at home. And it was very much like, they're just happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Right.
But it's me booking it. So then I'm talking to like the booking agent.
Right.
And they're like, she's like, so you're telling me that the headliner's no longer showing up to the festival? And I had to say, yep. Oh. And it just embarrassed the hell out of me.
Sure.
And I had to be like, I can't do this. If my name's attached to it, it needs to have
if you're
be
not
a little more
as
professional.
As me.
Yeah. Like, I'm not just showing up and like, oh, it's cool to like drink a couple beers and play music. It's like, I'm sending emails and I'm talking to people and I'm planning this. And
trying to build
like,
relationships.
This actually feels like a job sometimes.
Yeah, reputation is important.
Yeah, totally.
Also, just that feeling of that embarrassment is like
so embarrassing.
Bigger than the want to have a band.
So
Like,
I had to tell him, be like, yo, if you're telling me we're not showing up to the show today, then this band's over. And that was it. And then I had turned around, and my new roommate at the time at App was Chris Peroni, and we had been jamming. And I said, hey, you want to turn these jams into new songs?
Whoa, okay.
Like, my band just ended, and he looked really excited. And then we started The Remarks, and that was my college band.
Yeah.
Or, I guess I was already a senior at this time in college. So that was my senior year, and then probably the next 4 years band.
and that was more like an indie vibe.
Yep, we're going back
sweet.
to indie rock instead of bluegrass.
So used to, and who else is there? Who else is in the band?
Me, Chris, Ethan, and Steven, just friends that Chris had made at App State. I was like, we need a drummer and a bassist, and he's like, I know these two guys. And I think the first time I met them was a band practice. I really do think it was like that. And lucky for me, they were really cool, like instant friends. And I think that is the only thing I need from a band is we have to be friends. Like,
The vibe.
This is not a business contractual agreement. You know what? I want the hang to come first, and then if we happen to make a song,
yeah.
I think it's going to be a better song that way.
Yeah,
exactly. You have to have that trust and that,
or else it's going to
openness,
or it's going to be the corn dog,
right?
Corn dog city. You were talking
with the
about
podcast. Like I couldn't have done it if it was like just a weird. I don't know, but the fact that we're friends, we get on. It's like, oh, okay, then we're gonna have a better podcast probably.
Well, it shows as well.
The trust, the openness, the vulnerability comes when you have that established first.
Yeah. Okay, I was going to ask that question. How do you? Because you've had sounds like you've had a few bands at this point.
3.
Have you ever got like a bad, spidey senses or on some? Or it's just like, okay, I can do this with these guys, or
no? Since it was friends first,
always friends first. Okay.
Yeah. If the Steve and Ethan connection, if we weren't immediately friends, there wouldn't have been a second band practice.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't immediately we were playing music together. I think Chris was like, I know these guys who play those instruments, and then we hung out a few times before the band practice.
Okay.
That part's hazy.
Just to make sure.
Yeah.
It's also the thing of you're already friends with one person, and if they're vouching for these other people, you're probably like, okay, well, I like this person. If he likes them, I'll
then
probably
you should like
too.
them too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like me and you. I'm like, oh, you weren't a rando because I already knew you knew people I knew, and I liked those people. So I was like, okay, so he's probably. I already have established, weeks of getting to know you just from the fact that my friends can vouch for you.
And the stalking you did.
And the stalking.
Yeah. The research.
Like, yeah, she's a good bass player.
Yeah.
What?
We started a band.
Yeah. I was like, all jokes aside, we do have a song though. And it's the intro song.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, shut up.
We do have a song.
Yeah, it's my episode. Let me talk more.
Saying. What the fuck? It's my podcast.
Kidding.
Oh, hang on. This is a good question. Then you're both like, you've both got creative outlets, and you both, and they kind of cross over, right?
With this,
yeah. I mean, Aaron's heavily involved on the back end. You do the editing. We do the recording.
I don't know
you do
if
the
I'd say
editing.
heavily.
All right, he's involved. And he helped with the...
I fall asleep on the couch, and then around 9 p.m. on Sunday, I get woken up and I'm like, we still have to do the podcast tonight. And I'm like,
literally, it's such a baby.
I come in here and I turn on the computer and I stomp. And I'm like,
let's get this done.
Anyway.
Please. But now you're both like a, what would you call it? Like a power couple.
Hey. He said it.
That's what they say.
A local power couple, rock star and podcast.
She us? Nah.
Yeah, I'm hoping this pops the fuck off, and I'm just gonna be a stay-at-home dude.
Same, because I record at home. I'm gonna be a stay-at-home dude.
I'll just be like the engineer in the back. We're like, can you Google something real quick? And then you're just like,
oh, sweet.
So actually, when Aaron Aiken was 14, he did like baseball.
Enough of the 14. I'm gonna kill 14-year-old Aaron.
This could be. It's a shame this isn't episode 14. This could be the episode that pops us off. Who knows?
Maybe. But what's the question?
I don't know.
Do you have a question, or are you just pointing out that we're both separately creative, and now we have a cross?
Yeah. So how does that work?
Listen, isn't that hilarious that you're the one asking? Because I had the same question for you and Johnette on Johnette's episode. I'm like, how the fuck y'all doing that?
I'm doing the asking.
With us, nothing's really changed that much.
Is this the art of stealing?
Oh, look at us.
Stole your question.
It's just like, I guess I'm creative in certain ways. I don't have my thing. Like Aaron's like just music man, and I've got like sewing.
Just
you know what I mean?
music
You know what I
man.
mean? Creative wise.
I'm sewing down.
I'm sorry. But I've got, the sewing, and then the pod, and then the work, all these different outlets.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think we just stay in our own lanes, and then when it's needed, like you and Johnette said, we work as a good team just in general. So then when it comes to creative and work stuff, then that teamwork just goes into that as well. And we kind of had the same, like I would just give you the episode and be like, do it, and then trust you. I don't even need to look over it. Just
that's what happens, people.
Yeah, I trust your vision. What's happening? Should I leave?
No. I agree. I think what you're saying is like, okay, we started dating each other because we liked what each other were already doing. So it's like, definitely don't want to step on that and be like, ooh, kind of do the thing you've been doing. It's like, I don't know, you
like people for what
Yeah.
they like or what they're good at, for their shit, their own shit.
you're not trying to like
leech onto someone else's thing.
yeah, I was gonna say like hitch on that train.
Right.
Yeah.
People like each other.
I don't even know
for
if that was the question though.
individual stuff.
It's good. It wasn't really a question. It was just a prod. And then away you went.
Oh, wow. Prod. What else you got
Damn
in
it.
that notebook?
I got things in my notebook. But we've made it through uni. We've seen the second band.
Yeah. Second band was cool because we did the whole band living together in a house, which is pretty cool. It was
That
a
is
very
pretty
fun
cool.
year. My savings account disappeared.
Yeah.
We played as many shows as we possibly could because we didn't have jobs.
But you were getting paid for these gigs.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I don't do nothing for free.
Well, how much? Right, tell me how much. Like, would you get paid at that age for? What were they? Were they uni gigs?
Shit tons of money.
Shut.
No, we're playing like breweries. We live in Charlotte. I mean, you play gig and
Free beer and what? Just a ballpark.
it could be $400 to play a couple hours at a brewery.
All right.
And
Sure.
You do that a couple times a week. You pay your rent.
Yeah.
And it's very fun, but I think the reason that band dissolved is because you lived with each other for a year and you had big aspirations. So I was like, we're going to write records like all the time. I had the studio in my bedroom. You think we'd be popping off a song every other week, people. Take a wild guess of how much music we recorded in that year.
I think you probably just had one album in total of the lifespan of this
Two
band.
songs.
Two. I was right.
2 songs.
In the year. And
Songs.
2 songs. So when you did a gig, you were booked for half hour. Did you play both songs over and over?
No, we had old songs. And I'm like talking about we could play for 3 hours with like old music and covers and whatnots. Sometimes if you're sneaky, you just play the same set twice. You play for
People don't notice.
Play for hour 15. Who stays at a brewery for longer than an hour and a half? You'd go take a break. You'd come back. You'd play the same set again.
Whoa! I've got to watch out for that one. What'd you say?
Are you making fun of me?
No, I was pretending to be a drunk person. I was like, who doesn't stay at a brewery for an hour and a half? You just mentioned about doing the covers, and you're like pretty
good at covers, huh?
No, pretty famously known as a hater of covers.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to report on that? I kind of think I know why, but because some bands live off doing covers.
Yeah, for sure.
And like
That's their thing.
I get it too. Crowds love it. Like who's gonna?
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that
So
sounds
here's
crazy.
the thing.
Most people don't want to go to a show. They don't know the words, songs.
Yeah.
They just want to hear, play that one song, the AC/DC song.
I just think if you're coming to my show and you're paying to see me play, I know the emotion that I need to invoke for my songs. But if I'm doing a cover song, it seems like I'm an actor. I can play that guitar part. That's not impressive. And it's like goes back to the dopamine triggering. People want to hear those we used to play this Empire of the Sun song. Great song. But when I played it, it was like vom. I just wanted to vomit when I played it because it was too easy for to get
right
the base level music lovers in the crowd to start jumping up and down, waving their arms and I know this song. And it's like it's like
that's interesting.
And it's like
And then
I'm just I'm the animatronic thing on the stage now where I'm doing the chords, I'm saying the words.
Dance monkey,
but does
dance.
it mean anything at all?
Yeah.
No. And if it's going back to
It's someone else's
writing
words.
the song
Yeah,
where
yeah,
if I don't have fun fucking writing it,
Right.
what's the point?
Right.
So for me, same thing for the stage.
That's tough though if you're going to a brewery and you're one act of a few and there's a few bands coming on and the people are there to go to the brewery and get entertained.
They're probably all trickling in all day.
Yeah, in and out.
I've never had that thought though. I'm gonna show up to the brewery and be like, entertain me.
Exactly. They're looking.
Play my song. Play the song I know.
That's
Right.
it. Well, you're
What
looking
the
at it from
hell?
your
It's just-
perspective.
Yeah, I want to play to people who think like me, I guess, and maybe that's not a very lucrative
Yeah.
business.
It just feels gross to be like, now do what I want. Do it now. Do it. And it's like, what am I like I said, dance monkey dance. Like, am I just a thing up here for you? It also comes back to the creative side of it. Like the reason it irks you so much too is because it's like, I'm not doing it for this part of it. I'm doing it because it's creative and fun and I want to get this out and I'm expressing myself.
Yeah.
And if you can't see that, then it does feel like a personal offense. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then there's other bands who don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because maybe that isn't as high on their, priorities list as yours.
And, say, I don't care if you like, Aaron said, I don't care if you like this or not. I'm doing it for me.
Okay, so that's kind of why we don't play breweries anymore, is because they want you to play for 3 hours. I'm not going to play 3 hours of my original music because it doesn't exist. No, it's just like, I don't know.
It's hard.
It's some of them are slow and sad, and you don't want that at breweries either, so then you have to play covers. So we don't play those anymore, which is great. So now if you come to my show... Yeah, you've already paid the money, and if you know anything about us, you should be coming to see. So, now we live in that lane, and that's great. It's great. Yeah,
it's also, what's the point of playing a show if not to get new eyes on your music?
My thoughts exactly.
You play covers all night. That's not.
And
you
also,
guys.
okay, so here's the coup de grace, or I don't know what that means.
God. Oui.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have said I don't know what that means. I could have left it like really like, ooh,
housekeeping. No, I think that sounded correct to me. Oh, that just sprayed all over your pants in a crazy way.
But so okay, what was I talking about?
The coup de grace.
The coup de grace.
Of what?
I don't know.
Let me crack another beer. Actually, and we were talking about doing covers and not doing covers, and people coming to the shows to see you.
Okay, the coup de grace.
The coup de grace.
Of course.
The crudité, the vegetable plate.
All right, so here's the thing.
Go.
Why do you want me to play that song when the band who wrote it is going to do the best version? How about this? Save up your freaking money, and if you love that band, when they go on tour, maybe give them your money, and then you get to see them do it. And then when you haven't seen it 100 times in a year done by shitty cover bands, it'll like mean so much more to you to see your band do it. I'm like, you're just diluting that thing you love. Like, I love that you love it, but
here's the thing, baby.
Why do I need to do that for you?
They don't think like that.
It's so stupid.
They're so monkey brain that they don't think like that.
No, people think differently.
They want the basic, easiest, not too deep, and they're totally satisfied with that.
I think it's got that. There's room for everything. Right. And if, you were doing the breweries and that's just a way for people to get, like Sabrina said, just put your music out there, get new people listening. Mm-hmm. And then those people go, I like those guys. I like the way they covered that.
Literally.
That's called grassroots.
And then they might, when you're playing your own gig, they're like, right, I want to go see them more. It's a way to collect more people.
I just do not think it's even reasonable. Like, breweries are fun. Brewery shows are fun as someone in the crowd. I just don't think it's a thing that you should be even doing anymore, because in my mind, there's brewery bands and then there's everyone else. Like, if you're stuck in that brewery lane, you're stuck there, because they are expecting the covers. Also, no one's going to a brewery like, let me discover a band tonight. They're going to go to the local venues to do that. They're going to pay a cover to go and put the effort in to discover this new band or whatever, because that's what they like to do. Yeah. But even me, I met you at a brewery show of yours.
Mm-hmm. Having the worst time of my life.
And I was there talking to my friends. And before I met you, I was literally like thinking in my head, holy fuck, this band is so loud. I can't even hear the conversation. I wish this band wasn't even here playing.
Yes.
Like, this just feels crazy. Yes. Why are they here? Yeah. I wasn't listening to you guys in the slightest. And then my friend was like, oh, I love this band. They're a pink band. And I was like, wait, I've heard of these boys. And then the rest is history, whatever. But so even as someone who was so biased, I had
hang on. You're just starting a story.
What?
People need to know a bit more here.
People know. Everyone knows.
Well, a lot of people who listen to this know the story, but keep going for those that don't.
What? Me and Aaron?
Yes.
Quick story. Sure. Yeah. That show happens. And then.
Now, was that at Sierra Nevada?
No, that was at the beer garden in downtown Hendersonville.
Okay.
And I'm there just with some friends. Yeah. They're playing, whatever. And then after they play...
After this blows up, they'll put a plaque on that picnic table of
are y'all listening?
Aaron and Sabrina's story from Tea and Toasties.
Oh.
After they play, they had already said this is Pink Beds. And I knew of the name Pink Beds. I'd actually been to a Pink Beds show before because of mutuals and all this stuff.
Gotcha.
But I didn't know Aaron. And so I was like, oh, I know that name. And then they got done playing. I was like recently single for a few months. And I was just like, let's get out there, see what happens. And I just like saw him, and I literally in my head said, let me just stare at him and see what happens.
Let me stare at him.
Literally, I said, I'm just going to stare at this man.
As insane as that sounds,
Really?
I at the same time was doing the exact same thing.
I literally just said, I'm going to
It's not a good plan.
No.
I don't suggest it to anyone.
No.
But it worked for us.
I just picked out like the cutest guy there.
Right, in the band.
Of course, he ended up being the lead singer
And then,
frontman.
then he didn't pay her any attention, so then she went to the second best. Yeah.
Yes, no.
That's good.
So I'm staring at him and just doing a thing I would never do. I'm just staring and not looking away. And he
Right,
looks
right,
at me and then does the thing of like, looks away and then looks back. Like,
What's she
this
staring at?
Girl's staring at me like weird.
Yeah.
And I just kept staring at him. And then he gets up, and I felt like a siren. I
Hold
felt
on.
like a
Hang on,
siren in
hang
this
on.
moment.
You get your turn in a sec.
Okay.
I'm like hypnotizing this man. And he gets up and he walks beeline straight over to me and like reaches across the table and is like handshake. He's like, hey, I'm so-and-so. And to me in that moment, I was like, oh, he's a man.
Done.
He's handshaking,
Yeah.
introducing. Like
Okay.
that was a vibe I had never experienced. And I was like,
Nice.
and then I was like, oh no, I was just fucking around. And now suddenly
This is happening.
something's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, okay, same story, but your perspective.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. This is Aaron, the man, talking.
the man,
Cut that. Cut the mic.
the man with the
We're
handshake.
canceled.
All I was gonna say was that while she was saying that, I was talking to my buddy. It's his birthday. I should be giving him all my attention, and I'm talking to him, and I see this at the core. I'm talking to him, and then head swivels. Look at her. Back to him. Back to her.
She's still
And
looking at me.
all of a sudden, my buddy's in like mid sentence, and I just walk off. And
I told
accept
you
her.
he got up and
All right.
It's stupid. Sorry, Bryce. Happy birthday, buddy.
so you
And then that happened, and then my buddies were packed up. I'm now the only one in the crowd talking to people. Everyone else has packed up all the shit, and they're like, "Aaron, get in, we're leaving."
Yeah,
and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"No, one more minute." Like,
Yeah.
I don't like this girl. Like, hand, covering
Yeah.
the mouth. And they're like, "No, just get in the truck, van. We're going home right now." And I'm trying to like swindle away to like, we're like, let's go to Bryce's house. He lives down the street. Like, maybe she'll show up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make all these plans happen.
Yeah.
So I could talk to her for at least 5 minutes
A little
longer.
bit more.
Didn't get her number. And the
Oh.
boys were like firing up the van, beeping the horn, screaming out the windows,
Right.
like, get in the car. I was like, all right. And then I leave. Don't get her number.
nothing. We don't exchange socials. We don't
Nothing.
exchange
And
numbers.
We still haven't
nothing.
spoken.
Until
Never-
tonight.
yeah.
But you knew, you could get hold of him. Pink beds, la, la, la.
Well, as soon as the whole, like him coming over happened, I was like, okay, like something's going on here. Because then something had happened where we were sitting at a picnic table and he was standing talking to me. And I said, I scooted over and I was like, you can sit next to me. And if you want to sit down. And he said, no, I'm good. And I immediately was like, oh, he hates me.
Oh.
And I picked up on that wrongly. Meanwhile, in his head, he's like trying to convince the boys to stay to talk to me. So they leave. And then, me being me, playing it cool, quote
Right.
unquote. I was like, well, I know that they're Pink Beds.
Yep.
I'm going to go to Pink Bed's Instagram.
Yep.
And so I was like, I'll follow the band. I immediately found Aaron through Pink Bed's Instagram, but I didn't follow Aaron.
Right.
I just followed the band.
Just had a quick look.
Because I was like, that's normal. I was at their show.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep,
So I
yep.
followed. Meanwhile, when I follow you guys in the van, someone says, oh, that girl followed the Instagram. And then like the next time they posted a picture of Aaron and tagged him. So I was like, that makes sense to follow him through this post. So I followed him. He followed me back right away. And I was like, oh, it's on.
Okay.
Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, they were playing at Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, okay. That's where
And
me
I
and
was
Jonette
like,
were there.
I'm going to go because it's right by my house. And I went. Then my friends from that night were supposed to come. They ended up bailing. And instead of leaving like I usually would, I just stayed. You and Jonette were there. And then some other friends came. And then, me and Aaron like saw each other again. We're like, hey.
Humming.
Right.
You again. What's up? Yeah. Then literally rest is history.
Right. That's I love how the stories of how people meet.
Yeah.
So cool.
I do too.
Yeah. And to get both perspectives.
perspectives,
That's
yeah.
always cool.
And just the fact that like since dating for how long we have been now, we'll look back and discuss like we've been in the same place, the same time so many times. We've been to the same shows since like 2016. We've been to the
And
same
never saw each
shows.
other.
Never
Yeah.
saw each other.
Huh.
Never met. Never.
That's weird.
Yeah. It is really weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
We just kept like
Right. I've heard
crossing.
other
For
stories,
years.
couples like
I mean,
that.
we'd be at the same shows.
Yeah.
So since college.
He has like pictures of him at a show.
And you'd be like,
And I'm like,
I was there.
was literally there. It looks like I had the same view. And then he went to a festival and he was like right next to like Santina, my best friend. Like they were
In
at the
Atlanta.
same festival in the same
Are you kidding?
area.
I mean, I was probably 10 feet away from Santina at the Voids show. Yeah, at Shaky Knees.
Shit
For
like
sure.
that. Invisible Street
Because
Theory.
we have the same taste.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I
I mean, yeah.
suppose, it's there's circumstances that you would go to the same places.
But honestly, it's like right time,
Huh. Uh-huh.
right person, right time.
Right.
Because
Wow.
I needed all my past shit to meet you at the time I did.
And that happened. Yep.
I think same with you.
I needed this podcast
Anyway,
to be raking in the money.
what?
He's got confidence in it.
This
I love
guy.
it.
It's
I love
called
it.
3 Guinness. That's what
I
it's
love
called.
it. So we're 14.
No, we're not. We've gone through the college. We're a couple bands and we're at Pink Beds now. And
Yeah,
it's
we're
just,
at Pink Beds.
It's
All right, let's
coasting
jump, let's jump.
along.
So we did the year with remarks.
The
We only came out with two songs in a year. So I'm moving back to Brevard. Chris moved to New York. Ethan to Boone. Steven stayed in Charlotte. And it was just like, all right. It was just kind of like a dissolve. Nothing cool happened.
Yeah, and you're still friends with them. You're literally
Oh.
going to see them soon.
Next
in New
weekend.
York.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, first time in New York.
Well,
I know, which
It's
is crazy
New York
for
City.
me that
Yeah.
you've
Isn't
never
that
been
freaking
there.
wild?
That is wild.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Freak-
bet you're
freaking.
so excited
Freaky.
about
This
that.
is my 14-year-old cussing coming out. Freaking.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, still some of my best friends I'll ever have in my life.
Nice.
Yeah, just I don't know. Be interested to hear their take, but it just seemed like you went on a ledge there, a year with no job. Could be pretty stressful. It's very fun, but I simply didn't have enough money in my bank account to do it for another year. And then we all had to move back to where our lives felt like they needed to happen. And then from that distance, you're like, we can't do a band.
Okay.
Yeah. It was as simple as that, and from my point of view. But who knows? Maybe someone will hear this, one of those three, and be
whoa,
like,
whoa,
"What?
whoa. Yeah, have their
Actually,
point of view.
asshole." Yeah.
Yeah. And then you, Pink Beds formed in COVID 2020, right?
Yeah. So Pink Beds was literally, I had some songs written for remarks that we never got around to recording, and so I just started writing them. I lived in a tiny house in Brevard, just in my house, entertaining myself with no job because COVID. Yeah, I think that was about
probably.
the time frame. I worked in the music industry. I was a sound engineer at a venue, so couldn't have shows.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Wow. So at home, able to entertain yourself, write, make music.
yeah, just come up with songs. You could do better. Was literally, I woke up that morning, made coffee, and I was like, let's see if I can write a song in 15 minutes, and I did, and like that song happened.
Such a good one. One of my faves.
And then I think like Strangers Forever, maybe A-OK. It's weird because I hung out with the Remarks Boys about 6 months ago, and they had recordings of some of these songs that I didn't even have evidence of me showing them the songs back from the Remarks days.
Okay.
So then when I'm recording with Pink Beds, I don't know, it all comes on the record. And during that time frame, Jackson gets involved, so we write together from afar, if that makes sense.
So where'd you meet him?
I've known Jackson since high school.
Okay.
Yeah. We played music in high school. We went to the same college. I've known Jackson for a long time.
So then did you just think back, who could
Who can I bring in?
Yeah.
Fuck.
how did you guys link back up?
Exactly.
I think I've always kept up with Jack.
Right.
He was just always around. I don't know. We've just been friends for so long. I think he was just there.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone had
It was going to happen kind of thing.
It was going to happen.
Yeah.
Nobody had to reach.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So Jackson writes from afar, and he could bring me instrumentals and tunnel vision. He wrote all the instrumentals for that, brought it to me, and then I was so inspired by the instrumentals that I wrote the melody and lyrics in a day, and sent him back a voice memo of me singing over it, and he's like, "Okay, this might be something." And that might have been when we started working together. We're like, okay. this might work.
Yeah, it's got legs.
None of it, looking back, none of it's very premeditated or businessy.
That's the best way, though.
That's where the magic happens. I like the magic. I'm a fan of the magic.
Just get together, create, see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like John and Paul?
That's what people say. They do joke that. I think
Yeah.
it
Oh,
doesn't
for
help
sure.
that Jack looks like.
Like John. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. Jack's my writing buddy.
Yeah, you guys have done the Open Folk, which is like an acoustic showcase. And if
Yeah.
that ever happens, like you guys are playing under pink beds, but it's just you and Jack
Right.
doing the acoustic little duo moment. You guys do like, obviously the band clicks the way the band clicks in a great way, but you and Jack have this unspoken almost thing going
I've known
on.
him since he was, I'm 2 years older than Jack, but I've known him since 8th grade. So there's definitely a connection there. Where it is, it does feel magical.
Magic.
Literally me and
that's sweet.
Santina.
Yeah. Yeah. When me and Jack play together, it's pretty fluid, seamless, feels good. You don't have to talk. You just pick up your
That's
guitar.
what I'm saying. It's unspoken, almost like an energy connection more than anything else. Yeah.
My only regret is we need to do it more. Time is hard.
You know, when you get together with Jack, it's not forced, right? It's something's going to evolve, something's going to happen.
The only thing that is forced is finding the break in our schedules. He's typically like a second shift schedule work kind of guy. I'm work more
9 to 5.
9 to 5 kind of guy. So
That's tough then.
that's a restriction.
Yeah.
He works weekends sometimes, and until we have gigs, it's really hard. I also live
Further
25
away.
miles away from
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
So,
But how about like when that other song you were talking about, where he sent you something, you put something over the top, you sent it back.
yeah, it works, and
That,
it will continue to work for forever.
So you're saying that you're the Taylor Swift to his Jack Antonoff.
That's exactly what I was saying. Thank you, Sabrina.
I had to make that joke. That's literally how they work too. Jack will send her a track and then she'll send the lyrics or vice versa. That's literally you guys. And his name is Jack. Sorry, I had to say it. I just knew that would get you if I called you Taylor Swift. Cut that.
Okay, cut this
I
entire
literally
bit.
said cut that. Cut
No.
that.
Well, whatever.
No,
You're
just
doing,
the
you're
Taylor
doing
part.
the
I just
cutting.
wanted to say that as a personal joke to you, not necessarily a pod joke.
Okay, good. We're in pink beds.
I think we should round it out.
Pee time.
Pee time. Okay, go pee.
How
We've
long
already been going for 104 minutes, which is damn near. It's an
Record?
hour and 40.
We're not at 2 hours yet.
Yeah, hour 40 minutes.
of record time.
Yeah.
So I just thought of something.
Let's hear it.
What if this whole podcast thing is just a farce to have better conversations with your friends?
Isn't that literally kind of what it is?
Well, like, this is the posting it is just an act. The microphones are just an act because you think your friends don't take the conversation that seriously.
Pause. I'm so serious. Everything you just said, I have so much to say about.
Oh, well, do you want to keep,
Two things.
ABR?
One, I think a lot of men who have podcasts, that's a meme, right? Take microphones away from men because a lot of the podcasts, the toxic men have. The what's that one guy that got arrested? Who cares? There's a lot of. Yeah, what's his name? Andrew Tate of it all.
He's a podcaster?
He used to be, yes.
I don't know what his deal was.
That's why a lot of men became the way they were, is because they were listening to this weird shit he was saying. Anyway, there's that. Yeah, they're probably doing it for that reason. They think it's so deep and crazy to do a podcast because men historically do not talk to each other about their feelings, and they don't get deep with it. But the reason that me and Rich, literally, we've said it before, on air and off, we do this. We were doing this before there were mics, before it was going to public. We were talking for like 2 hours on a lunch break, and then we finally were like, let's just see what happens if we do put it out there.
Right.
We're talking for 2 hours on the clock.
Yeah.
If then
She was already getting paid.
Yeah.
For talking.
For talking,
she's double
for
dipping
talking
now.
out of my ass. So I'm like, yeah, then if we can get paid separately for just these 2
Yeah,
hours of talking,
yeah.
why the fuck wouldn't we?
Why not?
And then, of course, it doesn't feel like we're deepening our relationship that much because we were already doing
this, yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
free for no audience.
However, I would say that, and I found this from doing the podcast, is that I do feel a lot freer knowing that it's not just you listening.
It is interesting, right?
It's quite freeing.
Because then when you go into your life outside of the pod, you're like, who cares what I say?
I feel free now, 110 minutes in.
Yeah.
But good Lord, was I nervous for the first hour of this one.
And it takes a minute.
It takes a minute. Like our first few
All I could
episodes.
focus on was how does my voice sound in my headphones for an hour? And I'm like, God.
Yeah.
We had a lot of practice runs,
Yeah,
luckily,
yeah.
before we
Yeah.
put something out.
I would say like 5, 6 in, and then I was finally comfortable with it. And I think it kind of shows, you know, later on. But for the first few, I was like so nervous.
It's just weird. Yeah. Now that 11 are out, now 12, it feels like nothing. I don't even think about it anymore.
No.
Almost to a scary point where I'm like, oh shit, do I need to be more aware of what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, yeah, I've just stopped.
But you've got the
about
safety
it.
net of the edit.
It's true.
That's the only reason I signed up to this.
Yeah.
Because the edit.
Because you know the editor.
I live in the house where the edit happens. And I'm just going to wake up and set an alarm for 3 a.m. and come in here and edit out all my stupid comments.
Gertie has joined us. Full freaking house.
Wiping them freaking... Is it her cheeks or the side of her lips that have the scent thing?
I guess it's the lips. It's like where
Might
the
be
whiskers
lips.
are, I think.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
lips,
yeah.
cheeks.
She is now... She owns everything in this room.
She's claiming. Yeah, that's why I said when Rich first got here today,
Oh.
she did that.
Well,
Get him.
See, this is our relationship. We roughhouse.
Yeah. Mama's for
good.
snuggling.
Did she just hit her
Dada's
head on
for
that chair?
Fucking around. Yeah,
I
probably.
felt it.
She's gone.
right.
Well, I don't know. To round out pink bed stuff, you're in it now. Are you? You guys haven't had a record that came out a year ago, ish, almost.
Yeah,
And
that's crazy.
You guys are about to go on a mini kind of tour,
a world tour.
world tour. Wow.
Very nice.
Oh, this will come out in time. Okay, world, here we come. Should I list the dates?
Hello, Daddy.
Can I edit-
Hello, Mom.
Should I edit the voices so it sounds like coming to this
Sunday. Yeah, maybe.
Sunday.
Monster Truck Jam.
Key of Greer.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're just doing a little loop-de-loop through North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and back up. This will be the first week straight thing Pink Bets has ever done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just
A week straight.
Yeah. So this will be the
Tour
first
bus.
of many or the last thing we ever do.
Oh.
Wow. Foreshadowing.
What kind of venues? What we doing?
I wish I could say stadiums because that sounds so cool.
Yeah.
We're going to play the Radio Room in Greenville and then Evening Muse in Charlotte.
Yep.
Flatiron in Greensboro. The Poorhouse in Raleigh. Reggie's in Wilmington.
Reggie's.
Then
Shout out to Reggie's.
You know it?
No.
Oh.
That sounds good.
El Rocco in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Nowhere Bar in Athens, and then 185 King Street in Brevard. And I did that without even looking at
You
my
were
Google
rattling
calendar.
that out, which
So
was
I
crazy.
take it you booked all these.
Yeah.
So if you're in any of those little cities, towns, etc., hit up one of those shows. I mean, it's posted on your Instagram, website, etc. The actual dates. So check that out.
You'll find pink
y'all
beds.
are interested. Wait, are you going to Chattanooga?
Nope.
Well,
you're the only 10 I see.
I think that's all we're calling it here.
We ain't gonna circle back to something. We're gonna leave on the 10 I see
No,
joke.
we're gonna rounding out pink beds, like there's no rounding out because you're in it now.
We
Yeah.
didn't talk about.
What? Go.
We left Jack on a pedestal there. We didn't really talk about it.
Oh, you need to break him down a bit?
Hang on. Well, there's other members in this band,
Yeah, that's
and
what-
I do hope.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I see what
do
you're
hope.
saying.
I
Look
mean,
at
yeah,
you.
they're Jack's
Good
amazing. and all.
Lord,
We need you.
God forbid Ryan or Logan listen to this and go,
We
what
know.
the fuck?
No. We need you as the producer to pick up on this kind of stuff because
Yeah,
I
see,
would
that
just
was a
never.
skill coming in
I would
there.
never. And this is a good Easter egg for us because we want to have the rest of the
All
members
of them.
on.
Well, they won't come on now.
For their own right. Just Jack. Sorry, no. I swear, guys. Just for their own separate endeavors because they all.
Yep.
Like you said, unfortunately, we have to have real jobs, but they do have other endeavors that
Yep.
are creative and interesting, along with being in Pink Band.
Yeah.
So you think they'll all come on?
I hope so. This
Well,
is the back call, the toasty call out.
Come on.
Come on.
So let's talk about the other two dudes in the band.
Yeah, so I met Jack in high school and we went to college together, but then at college, Logan also went to App State with us. I met him freshman year through mutual friends. He had his bands that I knew about and he knew my bands. the idea of playing together really never crossed our minds because we were so busy with bands that we loved.
Yeah.
And it's just funny, you go through all this 4 years of college not thinking you're going to play together. And then I lived with Logan and in Boone, like, we got close.
Friends.
Eventually over the years. And then I moved back to Brevard, and then I come to Jack and writing these songs, playing with Ryan, and we had another bassist at the time. And then it just, we're like, who else lives here? And Logan has moved to Asheville. We're like, shit, like you still play your bass.
Right. So you needed a bass player?
Yeah, you still play that bass.
Well, okay.
And yeah, I know it's as simple as that, which is pretty cool.
Do you think that's how bands form? You get, you have a band and there's another band over there, another band over there, people fall away, and then you create this super band, and then this super band goes on, and then is that how it all evolves?
Actually, yeah, exactly like that. No, I think so for sure. You think about like I feel like Jimmy Page for Led Zeppelin. He was in like 60 bands. He was like the studio musician for all these other bands.
Yeah.
Very much so. That happens. You hear about people, and like for our case, I talked about like friends first. Is like if you're a musician who's around the scene and you're also a cool hang and your name sticks around and your name doesn't get crossed through because you fucked up or something.
Can't trust him. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Then you're there. Then you win.
Okay.
And then it's just the love for the game too. Like people give up. People give up on the ship.
Yeah.
As years go on, and if you're still around while we're
Last
still
man
doing
standing.
it.
Yeah.
And last man standing to a certain extent. It's not a conscious like accounting of qualities. I'm not like going down like who's all the bassists.
Oh no, it's like you said earlier. It's usually just a friend first, casual. Like
He's a
it
friend.
just happens.
He was there, and he knew I was writing these songs, and
you think of one person, and then you're like, and then this person.
And I think that's the best version of this.
You're not going into a band going, hey, dude, you're wasted there, and then you poach. It's kind of just serendipitous, right? It's like everything aligns.
Yeah. I think those are all the cool stories, too.
Yeah.
And then Ryan. Should I jump into Ryan? Or
I thought you already did. I was kind of zoned out, to be honest. I have to pee really bad.
Go pee real quick.
Y'all can keep yapping. I'm just going to go pee.
Well, Ryan.
Yeah. And then Ryan, so I moved back to Brevard after all this time, writing this record, jamming with friends, and I was living at my buddy Phoenix's place, and he was like, well, I have this friend who plays drums. Yeah. And he's like, I have this friend who plays drums, and, if you're a musician, you've heard that phrase 100 times, and it's like, after a while, it doesn't excite you. Like, oh, I'm sure your buddy plays drums. You get jaded.
Why? Tell me. For someone who's not in that scene.
Because like everyone plays an instrument in someone's mind, and then it's like you just don't want to sign up for the jam that's gonna suck.
Okay.
So like you hear it and you like pass it by. Like I'm sure Ryan has the same story where it's like Phoenix is like, I have an Aaron, or I have a friend Aaron who plays music.
Gotcha,
he's like, oh, sure you do. I'm sure he's cool. But then we never like signed up for the jam. Then I feel like after eventually the jam happened.
Right.
Like I show up to my house, Ryan's drum set's there. We jammed together, and it was like in the first 30 seconds, You know. When it's jamming, it's like I thought this was gonna suck, and I guess it's not. So lucky for us, this is cool.
So you go in with that mindset first, like this is gonna suck, but then you just get pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I don't recommend. This was past me. I grew. I don't know. I don't know. Signing up for anything, the older you get, seems like a bad idea. Yeah, it's not about musician or.
I guess right.
It's just hard to give up your free time. And you're like, what? Like,
other commitments.
Why would I commit to do something with a stranger? Mm-hmm. Like, okay, so it's probably that.
But then you never know. Take that chance. See what happens.
Yeah, and then we did it, and it was fun. And I was like, okay. And I think with Ryan, we jammed first before we were friends.
Okay.
I feel like I just came to my house one day, and there was a drum set, and we had this cool carport outside, which was like you threw darts, you played pool. Showed up the kids there. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm jamming, and it worked out well. And that's it. That's the Pink Beds. That's all of us.
Sweet. You're just snacking over there.
Are you done with the pod? Sabrina's just given up. I am rambling at this point.
I was hungry. I wanted to go pee.
Yeah.
Just for the listeners. I went to pee like 5 minutes ago. And
Don't
they
tell
kept
us
talking.
The listeners. And you're chewing into the microphone? I'm done.
I went to get a cheese stick. I'm starving. I'm just sitting here quietly. They called me out.
Well, What's next? Is it time
I think
for...
it's teapot time.
You think?
Yeah.
All right. We didn't do the teapot last time.
It's been off.
Maybe a couple of weeks.
The stove has been off the past few weeks. And this is a long and again, but we're going to make time for teapot.
Always.
Gots to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do we hand it to the guest?
Of course.
Please.
I have to answer it? Or
we all do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But you got to rattle the top.
You have to rattle the top. The listeners will freak out if you don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus.
What's your favorite thing about me? No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
You put that in there?
No, I didn't.
You wrote that this morning and put it in there.
I'm getting rid of this one.
Well, you can go there. You can't
At
just
least
cherry
read
pick.
it and then let us know, and then we
Yeah.
can decide if we don't want to do it or not.
Oh, I didn't know. It was
No
Yeah.
cherry picking.
These are crazy. What's your favorite childhood memory?
Aww. Next.
All right, let's do this one no matter what.
Whoa.
I pulled this one twice.
All right, what is that one? I need to see that one. Yeah, no, find another one.
Wait, I want to see it. I want to see it.
Crazy.
I want to see it. Is it one
If you
of
could ask a
mine
question to
or
any
yours?
person in
Oh.
history, what would it be?
Oh, another history one.
We've done the history
Yeah,
things.
we've done that
yeah,
before.
we've done the history stuff.
This one's what's your favorite book? But dude, I don't think I've ever finished a book.
All right, how did that end up in there?
Oh my God, he's not well read.
You can barely read these questions.
Go on. This is the one.
How do you define success, and do you think society's definition aligns with yours?
Deep.
We can do this one.
Who wants to jump in on that?
I don't know. It's like, I think your wants and desires, you need to set yourself up to be able to support yourself as you do them. And I think that's socially accepted. So, when you're young, you want to be like the astronaut or the rock star or like whatever. And they're always like, be practical and, pick a job that's like a little more common. That's, that story.
That's it? The fuck?
I think there's a little bit more in there.
But I don't know. It's like you only get one life, and who's to you to say that you figured it out?
Yeah.
Like
and
it.
who are you to like pass the advice down?
Yeah.
It's just like there are too many possibilities, and especially nowadays, it's like there are people making buttloads of money and living very happy lives, doing things that didn't even exist a decade ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. And like some people figure it out in lanes that most people don't figure it out. So like, I don't know, you could do the easy way, or you could, I don't know. I guess following your passion is a big problem for some people, right?
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
Follow your passion.
Even just the way you answered that helps my answer of, I don't think success is defined by money.
Yeah.
And how successfully rich you get or whatever, which is the society thing.
Can't take it with you.
Exactly. I think a lot of people look at it that way, aka society. That's how they define success, is how rich can you be and how high can you climb the ladder and all that. But I look at success very differently. I just think a successful life is a life that I am happy with at the end of the day. So if I am on my deathbed and I have achieved success, that means I've, done all the things I wanted to do in life,
Right.
made the connections I wanted,
Exactly.
traveled the places, whatever it is that I want to do.
Yeah.
If I want to make as much money as possible, and then on my deathbed I have, sure,
Yeah.
that's another form of success. But for me, it's not that. It's just happiness, I think, is success. And
Happiness.
that's how it's different from
Yeah.
society. Because I do, unfortunately, think society is. I mean, you're taught, go to school, get the good grades, go to a good school, get a good degree, make the money at the good job, excel in your job. And then for what? Yeah, to be 80 and retire and just have a bunch of money and die for what? Because you can't take it with you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and I think the worst thing in life would to be as you're on your deathbed, you're like, what if
What ifs.
What if I made that work? What if I could have been
Yeah.
that rock star?
Yeah,
Like
because
whatever.
the only thing, you can't get back experience and time. Money means shit once you're dead and dying.
Yeah.
Time's the thing you can't get back.
that 401k.
Literally.
Yeah, people they weight too much on, it depends. Success, how do you define it? People define it different ways. Society it depends on the individual what success is. And I think there's way too much weight on, the social standing, the money, the belongings, the things. But it's definitely, I think, an individual thing.
For sure.
I think it's like for me, a success, as I've got older, it's shifted. You know, when you're younger, success, you can define it in a certain way, and you do want the things. I'm not saying I didn't want the things, but as you get older, it's like, there's way more important things in your life. The connections, just people is way more important than accumulating the things. Like Aaron said, you can't take that shit. You can't take a U-Haul with you.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to wrap up this episode on that.
All right.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. That was interesting for me. Fun little ep.
Super interesting.
With Aaron. A nice guest ep is good to switch it up every once in a while.
Yes.
We promised guest episodes from the beginning, and we promised there will be more in the future.
It's a shame this one will never air.
Oh my God. We'll never air in. Hey. Where can people find you, Aaron? Pink Beds Insta?
My MySpace account.
Okay, so you can find Pink Beds on Instagram, Pink Beds Music, and they have all the links there, right?
Correct.
YouTube as well. They have some good music videos. Like I said, they're just about to go on a tour. Check them out in any of those cities if they're coming near you. And then, as always, Tea and Toasties. You can follow us on the Instagram at Tea and Toasties Pod. Subscribe to the YouTube at Tea and Toasties. Follow the TikTok. Follow all the things. Like, comment, subscribe, leave the reviews
all of it.
On the Spotify and the Apple and the Amazon. Please leave the reviews.
Come on.
Download the apps. Y'all know you've heard the spiel. And
we'll
talk at you next week.
TTFN. Laters. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.